We'll do that after.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, Felix, you've been in this Discord for a while. I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure you're probably a week one or
yeah. I think
probably
two or
pre-week one.
something. Yeah. Um, I was probably so I was day one of the stream, and then they made the Discord like second day, I think.
Oh shit.
And then I was like, damn, it'd be like that. Um, and I think I've been in here since day one. I'm not entirely sure though. I could go back and check, but whatever. A
Mhm.
while.
How was day one Discord compared to now?
Oh god. Okay, so day one Discord. It was like pre Luke being admin and everything. Like it had just been set up. Like I think it was CJ who was still an admin in there. CJ was chilling, like setting up new channels and stuff, and like the sub channel. There were still like different tiers of the sub chat. Now there's just one.
Oh, that was it, people. There is no tier three sub chat.
Yeah, there's no to the sub chat. That's what they want you to think. But yeah, it was pretty different. The community was just starting, so it was nowhere near as like tight, I guess. Like everyone in
Collaborative,
there now,
stuff
everyone
like
in the
that.
sub chat at least. I know like all of them by name, and like we have like history almost.
Mhm.
Like I've listened to like their music and stuff like that. And it's really close and like family like.
Mhm.
And the first few weeks were just like, oh, okay, cool, Kenny's live.
Was there even like me six announcing stuff, or is it like
I
people were
don't
just
even
spamming
know.
links?
Yeah, like people would still be like on his IG, like, "Yo, when are you going live again?" And Kenny was like, "I'm never going live again."
After the pasta, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at that point, when did you basically start becoming more involved with the community and more involved specifically being a mod?
uh, I can't remember what month I was a mod. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Hmm?
But I guess since day one, you could tell it was like a really solid group of people.
Hmm?
Um, and especially when people started like, I think CJ set up the kit share channel, and
Ooh.
like people started putting like drum kits and stuff in there, and I was like, damn, this is tight.
Hmm.
Um, and it was just like a really the only place where I had to talk about the things that I actually like to talk about.
Hmm.
So like no one that I know in real life like gets any of the music stuff. They're like, oh, let's just play whatever's on TikTok right now,
Oh,
and
for
like
sure, for
that's
sure.
it. Um, and it was just kind of I just got really invested into the people and like the energy that it had.
Hmm.
Like the second someone linked a video to like a rapper that I hadn't heard of and was like, "Yo, this is fire," I was like, "This is a place for me."
I always love when someone drops a link and it's like, it might be in a genre, but it's like someone doing something so left field or so like off kilter. You're just like, what?
Yeah,
How?
exactly. And they're like, "Oh, I've been following him for years," and you're like, "How have I not
That's
been
the
on
one.
this wave?"
When people are like, yeah, I bought his mixtape on the street in 2014. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? What?
Like, I have the CD. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Like that's
Yeah.
how I got to know about like, of course, Kenny introduces a lot of artists through the people he
Mhm.
works with, but like that's how I got introduced to they and like Fabio and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
Greedo. Greedo is probably the biggest one that I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I
that you
would
got put
never
on
have
to.
known about this person if it wasn't for this place.
Yeah, I mean, and all the people in the Discord too.
Hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah, for
fucking
sure, for
everyone's
sure,
just so talented. It's
sure.
crazy.
It's always weird how like on Spotify where it's like here's your daily mix and like my daily mix is people I know.
That's crazy.
Like
I mean, at least to
my
a good
daily
point.
mix right now is Ouya, DVR, Keegan, Lisker, and it's either what's it called, Preems's Spotify, or it's like someone else, but it's like it's
Mhm.
literally Discord people.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like that feels weird to us because we're just starting out. But once you're all
Would
your
you even
friends,
say we're starting out right now?
yeah. I mean, we're like, we know what we're doing, most of us in there,
Hmm.
and like, a lot of people have decided on like a career path or like decided that they want to do it even as like a hobby or something.
Hmm.
Um, and like
But it's
I
when you
think
see like Keegan have sponsored Spotify ads and stuff like that. That's when you
yeah,
feel like,
exactly. That's wild.
yeah, that's wild. But yeah, to that and to the whole community thing, have you had a place before this Discord where it's like maybe not even this type of community, but like a musical place?
Not really. On it, like I think that was partially why I got so involved, because I literally had no one else, and it was like I'm sure I was on like Reddit, like commenting on every thread, like someone dropped some new song, and I'm like, okay, cool, and like trying to interact with people, but
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't as like personal as the Discord was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was basically the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then like all the discords that came off from Kenny's, like the Collarbone Collective and stuff like that, like, and then like the Monty server and like the Ali server and everyone that's joined Twitch because of Kenny, like nagging them to
For sure, for sure.
yeah.
I mean, I love that basically now in music has almost become like, you know how a lot of gaming servers or a lot of games have like their centered communities. Like now it's almost like every producer has their community now.
Yeah, and
It's
like
no longer like a genre or anything. It's like this is the Kenny Beat server, this is mixed by Ali and stuff like that. And there's a
Yeah.
whole entity, like a separate community with like
Mhm.
jokes and traits and individuals who like people look up to and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Like, if I join a new server or like a server that I wasn't in before, like, or servers that I'm in now that I'm not super active in, like the Ali server, there's a whole separate like uh community in there, and like it's just really awesome to see so many of them as like close knit as the Kenny one,
Mhm.
because I know that's bringing so many people, like people to talk to, even just not about music, just about like their life,
Mhm.
stuff like that. It's just really amazing to see.
Yeah. And for music, did you start music when you joined the Discord, or were you like already, like, did you already do anything with music before?
So I guess the real, so I played piano for like 3 months. My mom got me lessons when I was like 9 or something, right? And I was like, this sucks, I hate all the songs. Like they were like, this is the C position. I was like, when do I leave? And then, in middle school, I played some instruments in band. I was like awful. I mean, everyone said that I was the best at it, but I could never like read music confidently and stuff like that. And it was just kind of like, oh, there's another thing I have to go to during school. It's kind of boring. And then in like 8th grade, so I was what, 14 or something. I picked up guitar and I was like, yo, this is the tightest thing I've ever done in my whole life. And I was like, I thought I was so cool. Like I learned like some like Black Sabbath riff or something. I was like, yo, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yes, yes,
Or,
yes.
And I used to play like, I'd say at minimum like 2-3 hours a day for like 2 years straight. Some days I would literally just sit there and play for like 10 hours, 8-10 hours.
Were you like
It's
plugged
probably,
into an
like-
amp, or were you like acoustic annoying
Oh,
the hell
an
out of your
amp.
parents?
And they always came upstairs and they were like, bro, what? Sometimes I'd even like I put put earplugs in and just crank it so I could like feel the energy from the
Feel
like,
the
walls and
energy.
stuff. And they were like, what is wrong with you?
This is why we gave you piano lessons.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't you play like Beethoven? And then I'm not sure what got me into production. It was probably Mad Villainy, to be honest. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I probably listened, it was probably in my recommended from Spotify because I listened to so much Gorillaz, and like there's probably an overlap there. And they have a song with Doom, so like I listened to it and I was like, yo, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
What got you from Mad Villainy? Was it the production side, or was it like, oh, this is a certain genre of like hip hop?
It was probably just the production, because it's so insane. And I was like, how the hell do I make stuff like this? So I probably downloaded like Audacity Yeah, I downloaded Audacity and I have this one demo and it's the number one stream song on SoundCloud for me. And
Yes.
it's like 3 tracks of me badly playing guitar that I recorded on some shitty mic, and like there's like whining and like buzzing in the recordings and stuff.
Hmm.
And it has like a few thousand listens and I'm like, what? How the hell does that work? And then I think I downloaded Reaper one day and I was like, yo, this is cool, I guess.
I have
And
more than
made a
4
bunch
tracks.
yeah, made a bunch of shitty beats, and they're probably still up on my SoundCloud, like privated. um, and I was like, yeah, like searching r/drum kits. I was like, boom bap kits, like, um, you know what I mean? And then like downloading like these sounds and not knowing how to use any of them, and like just trying to figure it out. And I guess it probably just like stemmed from doing so many shitty like demos and stuff. I slowly started to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Mhm. Were
As
you
well
like
as,
a
like,
YouTube kid at this time, or were you like purely just going to forums and Reddit?
it was probably both. Cause I used to watch like back when I played guitar like 9 hours a day. The other like how many hours is that left? 15 hours. I would be sitting there watching like YouTube videos about like guitar pedals and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think that's where a lot of my basis for like effects, like compression, EQ, stuff like that, like frequency
Mhm.
response, like understanding high end, low end, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just comes from watching so many guitar pedal videos and like obsessing about like, oh, the tone control like boosts at 3.5K, 12 that like stuff like that. And it kind of just carried over.
But so at that time, you go from basically listening to Matt Villainy and going like, I need to make this.
Mhm.
The transition to then you start getting some confidence in your tracks, you start getting some experience, you're watching videos, you're learning.
Mhm.
What's on your Spotify at this time when you're just like
Oh,
literally
like,
power
back
leveling?
I could probably scroll back and see. I literally have no clue. It was probably like Mad Villainy, like all the Kendrick albums. I used to listen to all the Kendrick albums on repeat. Let's see what's back here.
Were you one of
and
those people
okay,
who looked up at the credits and went like, this is who produced this track and this
yeah,
is the mix?
okay, that's one of my favorite things. Like, on like old Steely Dan albums and stuff, it shows you on the like liner notes of the LP. It shows you like who played the second guitar solo on this song and like who played background percussion and like stuff like that. And that's so interesting to me. And like a lot of times I just like Google the people and figure out like what other songs they played on and stuff like that. That was just super interesting.
For sure.
But the Spotify thing, so it's probably so my brother showed me Damn like when I was like 14, which is probably around this era. And around that I was listening to like Kendrick and then like Megadeth and like metal shit like that. And then that kind of turned into like Van Halen and then more modern like weird math rock stuff. I think my friend showed me Sean one day and I was like, this is the craziest thing, because I couldn't like nod my head to it. I was trying to like count along and I was like, what the fuck is this witchcraft?
Oh, it was off. It was not 4/4.
Yeah, it was like seven. Well, the first song was in like 7/8, and then the chorus was in 3/4, and I was just trying to like,
Poor kid.
yeah. And I was like, this is so interesting. I want to try to figure this out and see what the hell they're doing. And the guys in Sean have a few videos on like YouTube, and I watch those videos on loop, and I'd be like, this is the coolest thing I've ever listened to in my whole life. And stuff like that. And then yeah, so here's my Spotify. So it goes from like math rock. So it goes from, let's see, like Van Halen, Dream Theater, like weird stuff, and then it goes to jazz, and then it goes to like all the Kendrick albums. in a row, like saved on my
I
Spotify.
think you told the story. Didn't you like when you heard "Damn"? It was like you were in an airport or something like that, or is it like?
Oh yeah, so I was getting on a plane and my brother was like, "You should listen to this." Or what was it? My like iPod that I had back then, the songs on Spotify wouldn't download,
Mhm.
and he had like a I don't know, he was listening to music on something else, and he
Mhm.
just gave me his iPod, and basically all it had was like Damn and some other stuff from Spotify.
Mhm.
And the one song on Damn with U2, because I was like a rock person before that, I was like, yo, it has U2 on it. This can't be that bad.
This
And I like
can't be
hated
that
rap. I
bad.
was like, I was like, they're just talking, bro. It's not that hard.
Oh god.
When I was like 13, such an idiot. So I was like, oh, this has U2 on it. I might like this. And
Mhm.
then I just listened to Damn on loop for like the whole flight, I think. And then I was like, yo, that's kind of cool.
That's
Um,
kind of cool.
and then I got into the other. My brother probably showed me To Pimp a Butterfly too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like all the rest of them. I had a giant Anderson .Paak and like Childish Gambino and like stuff like that. Because I used to watch the NPR or NPR
Tiny
Anderson
Desk.
.Paak video. Yeah, the Tiny Desk for like hours. That video
Mhm.
is so good.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and that's probably what I was listening to when I
Mhm.
started making beats. So all my beats were like, oh, and I listened to a bunch of No Name. So I have like 3 beats that are just called like No Name 1, No Name 2, No Name 3, and they're all garbage.
But
I
already
found
at
like,
like this point in your like musical, what do you say, life upbringing, you're already like
uh
looking at No Name, Anderson .Paak, Kendrick, Madlib, and you're going like, I need to shape myself around these people.
yeah, I need to try and figure out what the hell they're doing. So like for the No Name ones, I was like, oh, No Name has Rhodes in her song, so I downloaded like a shitty free Rhodes like VST, and they're
Mhm.
like the worst sounding beats of all time.
That's my favorite
Okay.
thing. That's my favorite thing in the Discord. Whenever like there's a beat battle and like someone just
Mhm.
posts in chat, they're like, "This is the worst thing I've ever made."
Or like Ali with his like the underscore worst underscore beat underscore ever, or like absolute underscore shit dot wave.
That's a fire album name though.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, so you're already like super into production. You already have a
mhm.
background in guitar and stuff like that. Did mixing come hand in hand with that, or did you go like, oh, I need to figure out what the fuck mixing is?
Well, I kind of so when I started to get into production, I was like watching everyone using their MPCs and like I was learning about all these like recording consoles like Neves and stuff like that. Um, and I'm sure there were like guitar pedals that were meant to be like Neve preamps and stuff. So I was like, what the fuck is a Neve preamp in Google? And then like read all the Wikipedia pages about like the consoles and like all the artists that used to use them, and
For
stuff
sure.
like that. So I kind of knew what mixing was, and I kind of knew it ended up being handy to know all the basics of like compression, EQ, and stuff
Hmm.
on guitar, and then it kind of just like blended together,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, this is cool. You can make stuff sound good.
My no name Rhodes isn't sounding trash anymore.
Yeah, exactly. If I decrease 7.5 decibels.
But yeah, so did you at that point consider yourself like, oh, I'm a mixer or I'm a producer? Or did you still go, I'm trying to figure this out?
Well, so I think I wasn't even a mixer until like the Discord started,
Hmm.
because Pasty one day was like, I'm not sure why I did it. Pasty was like, because I had never mixed something for anyone before,
Hmm.
and Pasty was like, yo, can someone mix this song for me? And it was like a 2-track with like a backing vocal and an ad lib or something.
Hmm.
Um, and I was like, yeah, I can do it. And he like DM'd me the stems and like a Drive download or something. And that was the first song I ever mixed. I don't think it's out. It might be out actually.
I was about to
Um,
say, is it Zach Fox?
like garbage. Um, uh, and I was like, "Yo, this is tight." Like, it's cool, like trying to figure out what people are doing,
Hmm.
um, and like what they're trying to convey with their message. Um, and it's cool to be able to like use your own knowledge and stuff to like enhance their vision,
Hmm.
which is kind of like, I mean, what I consider to be the whole point of mixing. You kind of have to understand what they're trying to do, what they're trying to sound like. If they're
Hmm.
trying to sound like something completely different, then you kind of just have to figure shit out for yourself.
Hmm.
Um, or like talk to them about it and try to um, communicate your knowledge and like
I
stuff
try
like that.
I tried to like or I talked to another mixer about this. I was like, a lot of mixers, when you become a mixer, you also have to become a translator.
Mm-hmm.
That
100%.
and the process of going, like, when someone tells you they want something more punchy or more
Yeah,
something like that,
and
you need
that
to be the
happens a lot.
translator.
Yeah, that happens a lot in the guitar world because people would be like, "Oh, that's a very tubey sound or something," and you kind of have to like figure out what the fuck they're talking about. Or someone will
Flowchart
be
in
like,
your head.
"Yeah, that guitar sounds watery," and stuff like that, or like bitey and
What's the
weird.
worst description you've heard? It could be from the
I don't
Discord,
know.
someone in a video or something like that.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've had a few people that are like, "Yo, my voice is low. Can you like increase the lows?" And it already sounds like it's bass boosted. like
Oh yeah,
like
that could
their
also
demo
be a.
mix is like clipping bass boosted vocals, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'll fix this because they clearly don't know what they're doing, and they're like,
Mhm.
"No, yeah, just do that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, sounds good." Um,
Is there like a common misconception right now? Because you've probably mixed, like, I'm not gonna guess, but like a couple of records from this Discord already. Is there like a
mm,
couple of mistakes you see people make when it comes to,
when
like,
what do you mean?
maybe it's like they're sending stems in a certain way, their approach to how to get a certain sound is wrong and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, honestly, usually I just help them out with it. I don't make it like that much of a mental note. I'm like, hey, for this, you probably want to be doing this, or
Mm,
to get the achieved sound,
for
or
sure.
get the to achieve the sound you want. Uh, I mean, like one thing I'm gonna say, Zemo never sends labeled stems, and he does it just to piss me off. And he said he purposely puts in like blank tracks.
Oh, I
And
love
so,
that.
like, I'll be sitting there, and he works in FL, right? So it's like insert 2, insert 4, insert 6, and then like 7 and 9 will be empty, and like the snare will be on like track 30, and like the rest. But he does it because I always say to like label the stems. He's like, no, fuck you.
That's beautiful. But yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned Zemo, and that's like, you already have, like, right now, like, group of people that you always work with
Hmm.
and
Or that I have worked with in the past. Yeah.
have worked with, and like people expect to work with you. Basically, how does that feel now, from a mixing perspective?
I mean, it's kind of sort of like thinking about it now. It's kind of weird because I had like before I started like joining the Discord and stuff, I had probably never actually like worked with anybody.
Hmm.
Like I probably like one of my friends will have come over and we'll have like played guitar together or something, but that's it.
Hmm.
And now like there's a whole group of people that like the stuff that I do and that want to work with me, and that's kind of,
Hmm.
I mean, that I'm like so grateful for that. That's insane.
Sure. I mean, like, that's when I look at it, it's like you're the mixer in the Discord. Like, it's when you just look at like different people, like, when I think about, like, in the Discord, okay, who produces in the Discord? Okay, there's Preems, Corson. Okay, who's the vocalist? Okay, DVR, Ulia. Who's the mixer? It's you. Literally, just it's you. I don't think about anyone else. It's literally, if I want
Yeah,
something mixed, it's Felix.
yeah. I don't know if that's like necessarily the right like conclusion to come to,
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, it's still like
Seems like it is. Or like seems
whenever I've done a collab with someone, it's literally like, yeah, I'm gonna send this to Felix.
And I guess that's just like that's such a big thing about um like a giant showcase of connections.
Hmm.
Like people, I think people, or at least I underestimated connections. Like when I was starting out, I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I'll just do all my stuff myself and like it'll be all right. I'll just release me. I'll do like a Tame Impala and play all my guitars and stuff.
Oh wait, did you consider doing vocals at some point?
Probably. I mean, I kind of do vocals now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like random like backing vocals and stuff like
I've
that.
heard your harmonies. They're beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have a pretty decent ear for harmonies.
Hmm.
Um, uh, so I'll throw some on. Like I think, um, the Jaw song that just dropped. I think I have backing vocals on that. I can't
You got
remember.
the credit.
Yeah, like Jaw sent me to mix, and I sent it back with backing vocals, and he was like, "Okay."
Ooh. Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
right now, let's talk your setup because again,
Oh,
like I said earlier when it was like who's the mixer in the Discord, it's Felix. Felix uses Reaper. Let's talk Reaper for a minute.
oh God. This is
Why
the trap.
Reaper? Why Reaper? And is it again not attacking?
Yeah,
It's your
yeah,
thing. It's your thing.
yeah. I think so. I got it originally because it was free,
Hmm.
or like the trial is free, um, which is unlimited, and it was kind of the only thing because I had probably downloaded FL, and I was like, I don't know how this works, um, and I guess I was more familiar with working with like tracks rather than patterns and stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
The
so
Audacity days.
yeah, exactly. Like Audacity and like GarageBand on my phone, I would like try and make shitty beats. I remember one time my friend was like, "Yo, you should do like I had barely started producing," and he was like, "Okay, you should like remake this Playboy Cardi beat, and I'll rap on it." And I was like, "A, you can't rap, and B, I can't do that." But like I
But
still tried. I
sure.
was like on GarageBand on my phone trying to like program in the hi hats right, and I couldn't get the timing and shit like that.
Hmm.
Um, but it was more like the layout that I was used to,
Hmm.
um, and it was free. I'm sure that's like the only reason that like younger me downloaded it. I was like, FL is fucking $300. I have $12.30, and like
In cash.
yeah, and like in my pocket currently, that's all I have. And then it kind of just stuck with me, and like I don't know. Use whatever DAW you want. It's just whatever you can work the fastest in and what you're most comfortable with, which
For
for me
sure.
is Reaper. But I can use like I know how to use Ableton and like Pro Tools and Logic and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
just can't afford them.
I mean, like, that's probably the thing when it's like everyone in here has had like the starting program or the starting place, and it's just become their thing.
Hmm.
Not to say that Reaper is like not like
Yeah,
better or worse, but it's like it's literally like, oh, that was like a the output of your situation or like the end goal of your
mhm.
situation. It was like, I don't have money, I'm gonna use Reaper. Okay, now I
Yeah,
have
exactly.
some money, I'm still gonna use Reaper.
Yeah, this is what I'm used to at this point.
Mm. For other stuff,
Um,
because again, playing guitar for 2 to 9 hours a day, the guitars you have or the guitar you have. Let's talk about
yeah.
that setup for a minute.
Oh, so okay, I have one main guitar. The others are in like pieces right now because I don't know why. It is a Squire quote unquote Stratocaster because like licensing and shit like that. I got it for like $70 or something.
Hmm.
Um, I'm pretty sure 75 maybe from Guitar Center. And I
Hmm.
remember at the time I went there with my dad and he was like, I don't know, doing something, looking at other guitars. And I asked one of the people if they could like take any more money off of a
Can you make this
$75
more
guitar.
cheaper, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh,
Oh god.
but I really liked it. Like, I don't know what maybe it probably was the price, to be honest, but it played really nice too.
Sure.
And I like brought it home and I like sanded down all the frets and like made it all like smooth and stuff like that. Um, and I started like setting up like the tremolo and stuff like that. And then probably I don't know, like 5-6 months after owning it, or buying it, I don't know what made me do it, but I just like fucked around with it. So I don't think there's a single original like piece of electronics or anything in here. So like I sanded down the headstock logo so it doesn't say Squire because I don't.
You made it your own.
Yeah, exactly. It has well, not custom pickups. It has eBay pickups that I got for like $15. Um, they sound pretty good. And then it has a custom 7-way switch, so you can have every single. I guess it's 9-way technically, the way that I wired it up. You can have the normal like Stratocaster thing where it does like all the pickups like individually, and then the front and back to like combine with the middle. And if you flip the switch, it basically activates the front pickup in any of the other orientations of the switch.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can have all the pickups on at once, or like just the front and the back pickup, which like you're not able to do with the stock.
And basically and modding and like customizing and stuff like that, because you're working on your own plugin right now, which is dope. When I heard that, when I saw those like first like draft photos, I was like, oh my god, this is really happening.
Yeah, I mean that I kind of sort of made that as a joke, but like it actually sounds pretty good. Which is slightly scary to me. Oh, and then the bass I have is an Ibanez that probably costs like $100 brand new. Yeah, and I use it on stuff. It sounds pretty okay. Oh, and then amp setup. I have a multi-effects pedal thingy that I basically just use for compression. Preamp, and then it goes into a Fender Mustang version 2 or something. It's literally like $100 new, and it's like a digital modeling amp. It's not very loud, which is fine because I record at home.
For sure.
And then I don't have a mic stand for my mic, so I just hang the mic off the handle, and that's it. Oh, and then I cover it with a blanket, and that's like the whole recording chain.
You mentioned earlier that you went to Guitar Center with your father. Did he have any influence on you when it came to like choosing music as like a creative output, or choosing gear or stuff like that? Did he have any input?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell, to be honest, because I don't think he was the reason that I like picked up any instrument or something, like specifically. Like he used to play bass in like high school and like hasn't played since, or has played a little. I tried teaching him again.
Oh.
Yeah, so we jam sometimes.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
I think the main thing was that he didn't discourage it. I don't think it was a specific like encouraging me to take music as the thing, but once he saw that it made me happy and it was what I actually wanted to do, he was like, yeah, cool. And he would like drive me to Guitar Center and do stuff like that, or I don't know, like buy me like the effects pedal that I have. He bought for my birthday, I think, one year, and I was like, yo, this is the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I think it was more like a neutral engagement with my musical.
He let it happen. He let it happen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He wasn't like, no, you gotta go to law school or some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which.
Do you have any people right now in the Discord that are like that, where you go like, this person, when I work with them, I gain more, or when I collaborate with them, there's like something?
What do you mean, like a gain in like knowledge and
Yeah, knowledge. Anyone where you go like, dude, when he or she or they do anything, I'm like, oh my god, you can do that.
yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave some people out by accident, I swear.
It's
'Cause, like,
Corson.
there's
It's Corson. I know.
way too fucking many. Like basically everyone in the sub chat, like at this current moment, is like so fire. Like, I mean, Corson I probably worked with the most. And he's like, just his drum game is so crazy. And Corson is like really quiet. He's not quiet, but like he just doesn't say much.
His
he'll,
beats
like,
literally speak for himself.
Yeah, I'll send him a beat and he'll just be like, it's mid, and I'm like, damn, I gotta go redo all the drums. Or like redo the melody and stuff like that. And I'd say that's like a driving force to like figure out what the fuck I'm doing and make shit sound better. And like there's people in there that are just like incredibly supportive and generous and like just amazing people, which have like changed my career entirely and stuff like that. Like one in particular, like Geary's in there. So Geary, who is the guy that I think Kenny gets his guitars set up by Geary's dad now in like the Valley or something. And Gary's like the homie, and he's been like talking to me about new like tape decks and stuff like that, and that shit is just so interesting to me. And he'll like buy a new tape deck and we'll talk for like an hour about like biasing the fucking inputs or some shit. And like people like Lift, oh my god, Lift is the actual goat. Because when we like the Discord first started out, and I was talking about, I used to do DJ sets, like mouse and keyboard DJing on like virtual DJ free version. And I would download like O3 Greedo from like YouTube, the shittiest quality, and like stream it over Discord and like do really bad beat cuts and stuff like that. And Lifted was like, yo, I have this old DJ deck that I never use anymore. Do you want it? And I was like, you're joking, right? So he sent me his old, like, I mean, it's not even that old. It's like one of the old Pioneer decks. And I was like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me on the internet. I'm extraordinarily grateful for Lifted especially. But genuinely, like, everyone in there is too good to like single out some people that I've learned stuff from or like got some game from.
That's the thing. When I did the interview with Capo, we were talking about like, this place is gonna be very, very interesting to look at in like a couple of months, because we're already like slowly peaking, but the peak is gonna peak again, and then it's gonna peak again. It's gonna like, something is gonna happen, and we're gonna all drop an album the same day or some shit.
like I think a really good example of not what the community can do, I guess what the community can do, but like what it's done so far is like DPR getting signed to management at Blood Company and stuff like that, and like the whole Days Over group like about to drop the hottest album of 2020. And like everyone in there, like Keegan dropping his album, the album's so good. Keegan is just incredible, and like even people that aren't actually dropping music, just people that are working on the craft in there and like getting game and samples and stuff like that, and like inspiration YouTube videos and whatever the hell goes on in sub chat. It's just like insane and such an incredible resource for everyone in there. Especially like people are so like Cello's in sub chat right now. Cello is like 14. And like better like cadence and like speaking voice and like rapping voice than like I will ever have. And his beats are already like better than mine. Like to grow up in this community is gonna be insane for Cello. And like insane for everyone else in there. It's
for sure. I mean like that's when I think about like, even right now, like we're 7 months in, and you could probably say we're 3-4 months in with like actual people working and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But in like, what happens in 2 years? Like with this Discord?
Yeah, genuinely. Like DVR is gonna have a song on Billboard like
No,
in the next.
DVR is gonna fly us out on his private jet. He's gonna fly around the world, pick us up. We're gonna go to his own concert and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's my dream situation right now. Is when we start going to each other's concerts.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be so dope.
Or like even like if we can figure out how to meet up, even just in like small groups, like at like Beat House in like for a weekend
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, producer camp. That would be dope.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
whenever I see like people meet up right now, like when Sammy meets up with Preems, or when like Tater goes to Timber's place and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's like-
I think Junior is one of the OG servers to server people.
Yeah.
Junior is at Preem's place right now. Like
Mhm.
they're making an album.
Yeah,
Junior-
I saw his Insta. It's so dope.
Junior has like Junior is crazy. Like Junior is such a good like his flows are so good, his like cadences are so fire. And he was talking to me the other day and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drop 7 albums." And I was like, "What?"
I'm not doubting it.
Yeah, no, he's insane.
Yeah.
Like the work ethic there is
Mhm.
crazy. And I'm sure it's the same case for like thousands of people in the Discord.
Mhm.
And like the second people start meeting up in larger groups than like 2 or even like 2 people,
Mhm.
it's gonna be insane.
Yeah. That's why like me and Zach right now we're trying to figure out how to get like a studio going in Copenhagen where we're both at. And like the thought of like we're going like, okay, Copenhagen studio's open, next 2 weeks pull up.
Hmm
It's gonna be so dope.
That would be really cool. Just as like a free resource for people.
Mhm. Yeah,
That'd
for
be-
sure. I mean, like, I don't like the idea of right now being like when people go like, I need to profit and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like right now you're probably in the long run gonna gain way more from doing
Oh,
a
yeah.
free verse or a free feature or just working with someone without thinking of money
Yeah.
than you'll ever do on Reddit.
Yeah, for 100%. And that was like Kenny's point with the cave. Like having a place where you can just be like, yeah, pull up, we'll record for free.
Mhm.
Like the amount of albums that he's done in the cave.
100
Probably-
songs in this
Yeah,
year.
like the amount of songs that were just like, oh yeah, it's free, let's pull up. And now they have classics and they're like best friends and shit.
Mhm.
Like insane.
Yeah.
It's like an investment in your future more than it is
Yeah.
like, oh, it's $40 that I'll lose.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for sure. And speaking of $40 and stuff like that, whenever we see people in here, like when we started raising money for people, that's when I was like, this is special.
Yeah.
Because there's some point where you go like, okay, you could say like raising money, but this isn't raising money in that way. This is literally going like, Groove needs a bass. I know Groove. Groove is amazing. Get him
Yeah.
a bass.
Yeah. Groove is
Or
the homie.
Vic. Do you know how
$5.
good Vic is at producing right now?
Yeah. Vic is
He was
insane.
in voice chat earlier. He played me a beat. I was like, "You're telling me this is the kid who sent me distorted stems like 2 months ago?"
Yeah, exactly. The growth is insane.
It's insane and it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
And this place right now, when you look at it, when you go like these past 7 months, has there been an experience where you've gone like, this is gonna be remembered, or this is gonna like I'm writing this down and remembering it?
I mean, I think genuinely there are too many to count. Like, so many. Like, every day I'm like, oh shit, this song or this person or like, this hook is crazy. Like, they're gonna be a billion. They're gonna be so rich. Like,
Mhm.
they're gonna be so successful.
Yeah.
Or like, someone drops a piece of art and I'm like, okay, who even knows where you're gonna be in 10 years? Like,
That's that again. We covered earlier, but like again, it's like in a couple of months, this place is literally gonna explode. Like this pressure cooker is gonna reach like a certain level, and it's not. This place is probably gonna get flooded when people start noticing that like there's a place on the internet. There's a Discord where all of this is happening. Million subs.
yeah, like someone's gonna get a hit, like a hit, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I used to like VC with them,"
I
and like
used to be.
14.
That's what me and Kappa were talking about. We were going like, there's gonna be a Genius article in a couple of months, probably.
Not, like if not even weeks.
Yeah.
Like I feel like D-Teen and Cello are gonna drop some of their hyperpop stuff and just go up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
Right now, you're already. I mean, I wouldn't say you're new to music at all, but like if you just speak in like terms of like the amount of years you've been doing this, you're still like, you're not even that far in, and you're already at a certain level. Have you thought about career stuff right now already? Because you already have a website. You already like.
Yeah, the shitty website that I
It's
did.
legendary.
Yeah, that was. I don't. It's tough trying to see what things there are to do, because currently I'm about to graduate high school, or I have like a few months left. I'm like trying to find internships at places right now because of COVID is like impossible, and like ideally I'd be like working in a studio for like a few years, like recording engineering, mixing engineering, stuff like that. But it's so hard to see if that will actually work out, especially during COVID, because you can't go.
Let's think optimal. Let's not think about COVID. Let's just think right now, if you could be like, boom, 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 this is my plan. What is it?
Honestly, probably just like working in a studio somewhere, recording some fire artists, like mixing those artists, like trying to grow with them, and like just making a living, I guess. Like I really don't even care if I'm rich or not. Like if I'm like paycheck to paycheck, if I'm making some fire, I'll be fine. Like I'll live on a couch as long as I get to like mix all day.
And that's a beautiful reason to do music, or even just to do anything creative. It's just like, as long as this like fulfills me and I can like bring something to other people, I'm gonna keep doing it for the rest of my life. That's such a good reason.
Yeah. And
but if you think further than that, let's say get an internship, you get a studio placement, you're in-house now and stuff like that. At what point would you go like, let's say you could produce, or even let's say you could mix a record for an artist, not Discord. Let's say someone pulls up and they're like, we need you to mix X person's name song. Who would you want?
Like who would it be? Like
The dream.
I mean, that's a really like hard question to answer, just because I listen to so much stuff. Like there's so many albums that I would be so happy with like mixing their next album.
Just think of it like this. Think back to that vinyl you were talking about, where you were going like in the spine of it, you were looking at the credits. When you look at someone's album and you go mixed by Felix, which album is that?
Which album?
Because you can say Kendrick, you can say No Name, you can say whoever. And if it's too early to decide, you can say that. You can say, I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think it might be, but like, I feel like the people that I'm most stoked about mixing right now are like the Discord people, like my homies. If I get like a song with like Keegan or some shit that I have songs with Keegan that I mixed, but like seeing my name like, or seeing Mentalidad on Spotify just has me like tripping out every time I look over, and I'm like, damn, I really like mixed that file that's on Spotify is from my computer.
Ooh, I love that description. Oh my god, I'm gonna use that from now. I'm stealing that.
Yeah, like that's the thing I think about a lot. Like it totally trips me out still that like
it's been
it totally trips me out that like people have stuff that I like laid my hands on in their playlists, on their phones, on their like iTunes downloads, on their like on so many things, and
Mhm.
like
Like
is that
your song is probably gonna be played on some plane where some kid is like, I don't have my iPhone anymore,
yeah,
and they're gonna go
exactly, like
like, listen to Mentalidad. It was mixed by Felix.
yeah, the fact that that's even like an opportunity that we're allowed to have, and that like I have fulfilled, I like to the most like basic degree is still insane.
Mhm.
And like getting stuff on Spotify was like I feel like that's one of the weird like things that people still think is really hard. So like you'll be like, "Yeah, I have a new song on Spotify out." And they're like, "Oh, it's on Spotify? That's crazy."
You're signed to a
Um,
label? Nah.
yeah, it's like stuff like that. Like, I remember when it might have been Afterglow, I sent, like, the iTunes link to my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, I showed your name on my phone on iTunes to my parents, and they were, like, so shocked." And that's just, uh, the fact that we are allowed to influence people's lives like that
Mhm.
is just, like, an incredible thing
Yeah.
about making music and being part of the process.
Mhm. That's a beautiful way to end the first part of this interview because Felix, I think you might know
Oh,
what's coming up next.
oh,
If you're familiar with Pensado's Place, then you're probably
yes.
familiar with a certain game that we're gonna play right now. Felix, this is officially gonna be your first and hopefully not last. Hopefully your next batter's box is gonna be on Pensado's Place.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope you're
After the
familiar with the rules. I did this with Capo earlier, so
Yep.
you're familiar with the rules, right?
So,
Let's just start. Reverb,
oh, the stock Reaper one, whatever it's called like Ria Verb or something.
snare,
Live, because there's this one like wave file that everyone was like tripping over in in the chat. They were like, "What snare is that?" And I was like, "It's literally just called like a live snare."
Wait, didn't you find the party popper
Oh
snare?
yeah, the party popper snare too.
Okay, bass,
Live again. I literally just like reached over and like touched my live bass.
keep them short. Saturation,
Oh, need to use more.
808s,
Big.
high pass, low pass filters,
Overused.
vocal compressor,
Slow.
delays,
Floaty.
stereo bus,
Clean.
cheapest piece of gear or the cheapest sample you've used in a song.
Myself clapping because it was free.
VST for free.
Like the site?
Yeah.
Oh, goated.
Reaper.
Powerful.
Who would you intern for? Mixed by Ali, Dave Pensado, Alex Toomey.
Tume.
First time you got paid for anything,
Anything like music wise?
music wise.
It was probably like playing guitar on someone's song.
If you need a vocalist from the Discord, you ask for.
I'm gonna say Keegan because he's like really well rounded.
If you need a producer from the Discord, you ask for
Oh, Zemo.
the Discord.
Amazing.
That was it.
There we go.
Did you notice that I gave you the exact same question that Alex got on his batter's box?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I started to recognize them and I was like,
This was amazing. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
For sure, for sure.